teacher, right? So you are teaching people about life, so to say, and you're the spiritual leader for the people. So can you tell, what are you teaching about? So what is the core of what you are doing, of what you share with people?
There are two main streams. One stream is the meditation, and another stream is the personal development. And the personal development is split into the masculine tantric way of living and widening the scope. And for instance, widening the scope, we all can be alchemists. We can all transform the lead into the gold if we have the appropriate feeling with it. Well, feeling is not a very common word nowadays. Feeling is something which is not taught in school. Even myself, I was 8 years in the Academy of Human Senses, which was developed by a Dutch doctor. And so I learned the value of feeling. And feeling has to do with so many things. I have never seen such a profound, if I may compare our physical body with a computer, who is registering everything we go through, even before we are born. So I always was very deeply fascinated by the human body, because I always knew that was the secret. So I'm studying the body for more than 40 years now, and each time I come across different things. And the best workshop I offer is related with masculinity and femininity. It doesn't matter for the male group or for the female group. Of course, there's a female teacher for the females. And I recently just finished the second level of the masculine workshop. And it was a very deep experience for me to work on such a deep level on the sexual level of men. We have one dreadful thing nowadays happening in the world. There is a lot of judgment about masculine sexuality in relation to man-to-man connection. The masculine mind thinks in terms of sex, so there's no reason to connect with man. But at the same time, we become very poor and lonely beings because we don't dare to bond with another man. Because what should I do with a man? Having sex? No, that is not what I am. And I don't want to be gay, or even judged to be gay. That is what the men tell me in the masculine workshop. That is one of the greatest fear they have. That their environment, their family, or their work environment, whenever they see them close to a man, they are judged to be gay. It's not merging with a lot of religions we have in the world in the moment. But at the same time, it is a disaster. Why? Because we don't develop as masculine beings. Women are so much better in that matter. They talk about everything. They don't hold back. And they can chat for hours with one another in a very common way of talking. We men don't do this. So the second level is the deepest level. So you bond your sexual energy with your meditation. And that makes you a very powerful being. And we need a lot of powerful beings in this world. And not only powerful, but very creative. And our sexual energy is very creative. So the two main streams, meditation and personal development.
You're saying a lot about the feeling, yes?
Mm-hmm.
As I understand, you're saying about using your feeling, or using some quality of feeling, yes? Reaching some quality of feeling But what do you mean under this feeling, are you saying? Because actually we all have the feelings, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And the emotions that we have, they are accepted by our feelings. So we can be scared, I don't know, we can have some anger or something like that. Or you are saying about some different kind of feeling. What do you mean when you say about feeling?
Well, I love to keep things very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling is, let's say, two ways. It is either contraction or expansion. And unfortunately to say, we are most familiar with the contraction, because that is the fear. The fear separates us from the world around us, because our body physically contracts. We all know the knot in our bellies. We all know the tension in the neck. That has nothing to do with suspension. It is the reversed way. So to keep it simple, it is the contraction or it is the expansion. And the expansion is like having flowers in your belly. You know, when you really fall in love with someone, you have this butterfly feeling in your belly. That is very simple to express it, how to expand. So if I love the things, what I'm doing, if I live my life loving, then I am an expanded kind of person. And I will take the world around me in the same mode. No doubt. So how I am is my world around me.
So you know, in your workshops, you were quite often getting to the thing that we need to value ourselves, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to value and to listen to our own selves and listen to our own feelings. What do we feel? And you always say that in order to create something, we need to have it inside of us.
Yeah.
So in order to create more love, for example, we need to love ourselves.
Exactly.
If you want to have money, we need to feel like wealth inside. So, but you know, I have a feeling that this is not the way we are taught to do, because we are taught to be, you know, to be focused on the external things. If I need money, I need to work, I need to plan this and this. If I want love, I need to find the person which will be, so to say, good for me to love. But, and you know, when I talk to someone about loving myself or something like that, this is, in the most cases, is accepted as being the egoism or something like that. So, but I understand that you have the deeper meaning of this love to yourself. What is it for you? What do you call to love yourself? Just giving an example, how do you see that?
Well, finding the respect for whatever is in your life, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. Owning your own property is a big thing for us. Mostly we work our entire life to pay it off. But there are so many small things to be appreciative for. You know, if I appreciate the hot water coming from my tap, or having something to eat, or having a fridge full of food, that we could be very thankful for. And it makes me feeling that respective being. And whenever I start respecting whatever I have, the respect comes to me, because people sense that. Say, oh, you're so thankful. Thank you for showing this to me. And it is with all the things. That is the old saying, what Buddha said. So inside, so outside. So if I feel that wealth within me, I create the wealth around me. And unfortunate to say, schools, education never were teaching us that. Everything is related with what is so-called the governmental controls. Controlled people are easily to be led. Powerful people know what they want. They know how to create. But I mean, imagine all the people would be on this level. The governments would have nothing to tell. So it is clearly understandable for me that they want to be us in this mode of being controlled, because then they can guide us, so to say.
So in other words, you say that being loving and respectful to yourself gives you an understanding, so what do you want, and knowing how to create it.
Right? It is a full expanded way of being. Respectful, is open, is connected with what is there. And that comes to you by itself.
So we don't need to control it ourselves.
Control is not existing. Controlling is fear. Controlling is separation. We need to look underneath the layer of control. What is there? What made me controlling?
You know, but why there are so many teachings that are, you know, teaching us to control? Just come to the bookstore and you will have a bunch of books how to control your emotions, how to control the people around you, how to control your time, about time management, and things like that. So why is it created for? So we actually don't need it, or what is the reason why we have so many control and we are taught to control everything?
Control is weakness. If I try to control the world, which is an illusion, because the life is so dynamic, it will never allow to be controlled. Who am I to say, I know the world, how it looks like in 5 to 10 minutes? I don't know. So whatever I control is lost energy, because I cannot foresee whatever happens to me. There's only one solution to there. It's be whatever is there, and go with it. See it, accept it, and move on. And it's so different than control. I don't want to be a weak person.
So, but how do we create? So if I want to create, I don't know, the better living conditions for myself, how should it come to me? It should come not from the control, but how can I create it?
I always say, look to the outer world you live in. If you feel a lot of love around you, it states that you are a loving being. If you have this wealthy feeling inside you, you will see the wealth coming to you. If the wealth is not coming to you, you need to go inside again and make the feeling to a deeper level of yourself. So we are guided through the world around us. If it is not working, I need to make a step for myself.
So what kind of step can I make? For example, I'm longing for having something in my life, and I watch out and I see that I don't have it. So I clearly understand that the way goes to the inside. So I need to find it inside of me. So what can I do? How can I find this something inside of me? Or maybe if it does not exist in me, how can I create it inside of me? Or I cannot create, I just need to accept myself as I am, and what is the way?
That sounds also a little like control, what you're saying. You know, it is related to this pure innocence. That little boy inside me still remembers how to be innocent. You know, I can give you two examples. For instance, I love cars. I love beautiful cars, and I'm getting amazed by some cars. And this little boy to me looks in so full fascination to this car. Then, oh, this is going to be my next car. I love that model so much. I love this kind of car so much. It takes my breath, and the car appears in my life, one way or the other. I don't think about it, it just happens.
Coming back to the topics, yes, so you say that there are two main flows, and the first one was the meditation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is actually this meditation, and why do we need it, and what can it bring us, the meditation? And you know, so it became so popular, the meditation, so big, you know, structures are created around the world, the word meditation, and meditation camps, and 1,000 kinds of different meditations. What is the difference between all this meditation? And, you know, everyone invents the new meditation and makes money of that, but what is all this about? So what kind of meditation did you teach, and why do we need it?
I was myself very long time skeptical about meditation. I didn't put any attention to it until the very moment I found a teacher who was offering a meditation based on the sacred geometry. And I instantly knew that was the right thing to do, because the more I know about the geometry, the more I realize that is the truth. That is the language of the universe. So if I meditate according to the shapes of the geometry, which are very ancient knowing, even in Egypt you find the hieroglyphs connected with the meditations we are teaching. It is so based on the universal language. There are shapes around the body which are naturally there, because it is taken from the shape, the physical body. All we need to do is bring light to it through our intention and make it moving around the body. So we have this electromagnetic field around the body. And whenever we have this field of energy around us, through our hearts we can program it. We can allow it to protect us, to be safe all the time, to have friendship with my family, friendship with the ones I work with. So you're mastering your own energy. All it needs in one time activation, and it will stay active for the rest of our lives. And all we need to do, feel whatever we want to intend in our life, and it will come to this field of energy around us.
So finally, the meditation teaches us how to manage our own energy.
Yep.
In a couple of words, right?
Yep.
And what about, like a chilling of the mind, or opening the heart? These are very common topics, touched in the meditations. So what is it? Why actually do I need? Because it seems to me we all are, thinking beings, yes, and the majority of people are living thinking, and they cannot imagine our life thinking. When I start talking with someone that you need to cool your mind a little bit, they don't get even what does it mean. So all the life happening is the life in the mind. So what is beyond the mind? What is there?
You can meditate from the mind, no problem. But it is a different level of us. It creates the polarized energy, the left and the right side of the brain, and it makes us making decisions based on polarization. And poles means here's a pole and there's a pole. So this is a good decision and the next one will be a negative one. Granted, if we do it from the mind. Even if we meditate from the mind, it creates black holes in our energy fields. If we do it through the heart, and a very simple example for me is always, if you really love someone, you're willing to jump out of the window or jumping from a roof in order to get to her. Because the drive is so strong to see her, to meet her again. So if you meditate from the heart, it makes you a very powerful being. And the field around you is automatically filled with it because of the heart connection. The mind is a totally different level of us. I'm not saying that the mind is bad, but we have different levels of us we can use. And I bring in even something more than heart energy. I love to have the sexual energy into my energy field around me, because through our sexual energy we create new beings coming to this planet. If I want to create something into my life, if I go through my sexual energy, coming through my heart, there's no limit to it. I can do everything.